questions there. They want to check the concept level of the children there. How much they understand and write or they can tick the MCQs properly. This is the core concept where they have to critically think, where you have to make them understand what is thoughts. How much ever they critically think and do a problem solving, it is going to give them better result. This is actually known as competency based, where we are not giving them the direct questions. We give them questions where they have to think and write. Hope it is clear? This is competency. Now, today's topic is somewhere, even we are having tug of war in Kerala. Okay, because I'm after notebooks. You tell me one thing. I never believe in the big boards what all the schools make and put up. Right? Now, if you go across any state now, in all the schools' entrance, you can see 99.5, 96.5, 100% result. Now, everybody has got 100% result. I'm not worried about that. Clear? I want to know how many children who were in 50s reach 70s. That is more important, according to me. Those who are in 85, 90, they are getting 96. It's not a great thing. Okay, but definitely the percentage is also important. But I will tell you one thing: the advertisements like hoardings, and we have the in the TVs we give that the admissions open, etc. Is it necessary? Was it there earlier? No. It was only their mouth-to-mouth advertisement. Yes? Yes. And that was more essential, and advantage was always there. That is, our own parents are speaking about the school to other parents. Okay, that was more essential and that was more effective. Now you put the boards, you think that when admissions will come, definitely it may come, it may not come, it depends upon the area also. Okay, but here there is a tool which makes us understand how the school is working. That is your notebook. Notebook is considered as a tool as well as a record where the people get to know the level of the teacher and at the same time the level of work what we are doing in the school. So that is the reason I always say, how much ever we say it is a traditional method that we are making them write the notes and all that. But in India, how much ever you speak about digitalization or whatever it is, parents need notes, parents need written work, parents need marks. And this can be only source. Now, I'm not against any digitalization, but with regard to the notes also, the written work according to the Indian system, it is very important. Okay, so let us start with the PPT, right? Now, before I start, I always give a beautiful quote of Amma because I start the session that way. It's a beautiful quote. The greatest growth happens when you step out of your comfort zone. That's what Amma said to everybody. I know there were many brahmacharis, okay, in Amma's ashram, who always wanted to be with Amma. And always they want to be with Amma, even I want to be with Amma. But Amma has a purpose. Amma says that you're not going to sit there, you're going to do this. Okay, that is your real achievement. And I tell you, this is meant for every human being, every person in this world. If you are in your comfort zone, you will not reach anywhere. So this is a beautiful quote for every teacher who has assembled here for listening to this. Okay, next one. Maintenance of notebook. I have made a policy, so I thought that I will just discuss with Tamil Nadu also. I have told every teacher who has joined now, who are ex-teachers or whoever is there, they have to sign this policy. I'm going to explain each and every point and why. Yeah. Now, notebook, you can see the glimpses of some of our notebooks I have taken up. You can see how the margin is put up, right? How they are supposed to write. You can see the margin where the date is given, right? You can see how they're not supposed to write in the white space. They have written on 4 line, and then how they need work, we have integrated it with art also. Okay? This is the second slide, you please take up. It's a worksheet. We give worksheet in the notebook itself because the children are very small, they will just put it in the dustbin after some time. So this is how it is being done. So you can see how the spellings are written. See, I never allow them to make them write 10 times the spellings. Why? I'll tell you that also. Being a teacher, I know the difficulty. See, writing in position, okay, it was a trend. Teachers, they think that in English or in any languages, the spelling mistakes will occur. For dictation, they have to make them write 10 times, then only they will learn. But I'll tell you, when they start writing the first line, they will be happily writing. Second, okay. Third, okay. By fourth, half of the spelling will not be there. Okay? Sheep will have she, then E will be missing, then another E will be missing. By the time it goes down, I don't know what spellings they write. And what does the teacher do? The teachers will never check the bottom one. They will just do a big tick like this in the first 2 lines. And rest all will be the mistake. And what will happen? Parents will come running and say, this is the kind of corrections you do in your school. So that is why I insist the teachers always, whenever now, the writing of imposition you should stop. You can make them write thrice, it's more than enough. Okay? But if they're insisting you, no, we have to make them write more, you tell them, ma'am, we can make them write this much only. What you can do, just like we used to do during our school days, we used to have a rough notebook at home, practice. Okay, but in the fair notebook, only this much we do. Clear? Next one. This is for the higher classes, they do it in this way. Okay, art integration, etc. Everything we put up in the same notebooks. Clear? Next. You can see we focus on cursive writing. That also I will explain you how to go about it. Okay? Now, next one. Types of notebooks. I would like to tell you the different kinds of notebooks we are using, right? We use 4-line notebooks. Always remember, these 4 lines have got its own significance. Clear? The first line is known as the top line. Okay? The red line, see, we have 2 red lines, and between there are 2 blue lines. Okay? The first blue line is known as secondary line, and second blue line is known as base line, and the last one is known as bottom line. Hope it is clear? So, touching the lines and writing improves cursive writing. I will explain you how to go about in cursive writing when I am going to read the policies. Okay? Now, the next kind of book, you can see that this kind of checkbooks we use for mathematics. So, can you just put the previous slide? Just the previous one. Yeah. You can see here the margin. Right? Date should be put up here. Class for homework just below that. This margin, and this margin should not be touched. Whatever you need to do, you have to do it in the center. Right? So this is how it should be done. Next one. This is the square notebook. Right? There is always a doubt for the pre-KG and KG teachers. Right? How to write a 2-digit number. You write in the same box 20, 21, 22, 23, isn't it? But that is wrong. Right? A digit gives importance to digit. See, we are starting with the unitary, that 1 to 9 you write in the unit place. And this is how you have to make it as 2-digit number. When it comes to 3-digit number, you know H2O we use. So this is how you have to make them write in the notebook. Never make them write 10 in 1 square. 100 in 1 square. Because why are we using the square? Square is meant for this. So that the children will understand that each digit signifies something or the other. Hope gentlemen who are sitting at the back can listen to me. Yes? Yeah, good. So next. This is the kind of maths notebook we are having. Sir said that it is like plain notebook you are following, isn't it? Is it this kind or plain notebook? This one only. Wow, that's nice. So what you can do is, this is the, always remember here, we had a big corner for this. I'll tell you, this is known as the margin, right? This is the working space. Like whatever we write, whatever we do the construction, then the diagrams, everything should be here. And this is only meant for rough corner. So what generally children are miser at times. What they do, they put the question number and they go on writing till here. Okay, and we will never get to know which one is the answer, which one is a rough work, and the maths teachers will have a big headache seeing that. So I have made it very clear that please cross it if they write it there. So make it a point that when the children are writing, they are supposed to write the questions here, big number here, and then they write the questions till here, solve the questions here. Whatever construction work they have to do or whatever diagrams they are doing, they will do it in the center only, and this space is only meant for rough. If there is no rough work, let it be there. Don't do anything, let it be untouched. So this is how you can maintain the notebooks beautifully. Hope it's clear? Now next. This kind of notebooks for other languages we are using, it's almost the same. Again, you have to keep in mind the margins on top and bottom, and at the same time left, it should not go here and there. Some children have the habit, if till here it is over, right? Then only one word is left, only one word. Why to take a new page? They will write it here. Never allow that, because they are not supposed to write it. It's a margin. They think that only one word, why to take a new page, but it is wrong. Clear? Next. Notebook policy. Always remember, the notebook is always kept as a tool and as well as a record. Whatever work you do, it is a clear example for others to know what kind of work is happening in the school, how the teachers are, the creativity of the teachers in pre-KG, LKG, UKG. You can really get to know the creativity of the teachers through the notebook. 4 sections are there, 4 different sections will be doing the same work in different way. So you will easily get to know which teacher is competent enough to carry forward the things. Okay? Now, all the teachers are required to sign the policies and follow the guidelines. This is what I have made it very clear in Kerala schools. The notebook must be covered. See, it's always said that, see, some of the schools we have customized the cover. It's their building and their people and all that. So it is not as customized, right? And those who don't have a customized one, they use a brown color paper, which should be labeled properly. So even the children, they know that they have to keep it as a precious commodity. Okay, some of the teachers, they don't allow them to touch after the break, after eating. They will not allow them to touch. Go wash your hands properly with soap and water. So that way we have to maintain, because you know that in CBSE, we give internal marks for the notebook and the submission of notebooks. So they should know the pain of maintaining the notebooks properly. So this is what you have to remember, paper, and it should be labeled. Always remember, index, that is the first serial by serial number, then you have the topic or subtopic, whatever it is, it should be signed and dated by the teachers. Now, I have told for pre-KG, LKG, UKG, the children are very small, so the teachers write with the gilded pens so that it looks beautiful. And then, for first standard to 12th standard, what they do, they have to write it themselves. And it is the duty of the teacher, when they are correcting the notebooks, they have to check the index also. So this is the second point. For the pre-KG kindergarten, teachers should write the index using the glitter pens in various colors. Hope it is clear? Next one. Classwork and homework. I have not previously this. The classwork and the homework should be stated in the top left hand. I have already told you where you have to make them write the top level, okay? And corner of the page along with the date. Do not write above the red line. This you have to make them understand. They are not. Usually what happens in many of the, even the YouTube and all, you can see that they write on the red line, on top white space. But it is wrong. It should not be written there. Okay, do not write above the red line, and this red line serves as margin. The same care should be taken regarding the margin on the left side and on the bottom side. Hope it's clear? Now next one. The topic of the day should be written in the center of the first line and underline it using pencil. Now for smaller classes, you can just tell them to bring their stationeries properly. They can have their pencil, eraser as well as scale. Every child should have the scale with them. Any line they make, it should be with the scale. Even, see, the senior wing, they don't have anything. They will come without anything. Okay, but you have to make it a point that no lending, no borrowing, you have to have your stationery. Okay, and at the same time, see, art integration work, they generally do in the notebook. I'll tell you, whenever the art integration work is done, never allow them to use a sketch pen. Sketch pen or paint or anything which, it creates a mess in the notebook. Please never allow them to use. What I have told in our schools, use pencil color. Pencil color and pencil, it looks beautiful, and not only that, you can erase the pencil color if anything is going wrong. So if they have one packet, they can use it for all the subjects, because every subject do art integration. Okay. Now, other than this, use a ruler to draw any type of line. Subtopic or heading should be written on the lines below, aligned with the left margin. These should be underlined using a pen. Subtopics and the headings. I'll tell you something. I'm just writing it, but you won't be able to see, I think so. On top, you all can see if I write bigger. Okay? Yes? I will write here. You have to check whether it is a whiteboard marker or the other marker, okay, before doing anything. These are the small things the teachers should note before doing this. See, this is a margin. This is a margin you are making up, okay? Now, the main topic is plants around us. Suppose the main topic in biology you take as plant around us. So subtopic, definitely you will start with photosynthesis. So what you need to do is, you write the headings here, then subheading with a bulleted point, you have to write photosynthesis, right? Then give the notes here. Leave one space, give another subheading like respiration, okay, or whatever, transpiration, whatever it is, you have to give. This is what is meant by subtopic, how to write subtopic after the main topic. So the content under each subheading should begin with the next line. The content, whatever that is, the topic or subtopic you will be writing, and then the content will start in the second line. If the content is presented in points, it should be numbered. It is always better to go for a bulleted points, because the question number will be there. Again, if they write 1 and 2, it will be a mess. So always remember, the question number should be written here, right? Question 1, 2, 3. But bulleted points should be in the right hand side of the margin. So it is always better, the number of the bulleted points can be written and formatted within the margin. Next one. Leave one space before transiting to the next subheading or the question answers. Now, never ever do this. Some children, they never leave any space after one question answer. One question answer is over, then only they have to leave one space. Then next question answer, then leave space, that way. You never have to leave one question, leave space, then next question, leave space, never do that. So always remember, leave one line space before transiting to the next subheading or the question answer. Now, in Kerala schools, I don't know, but sir, here it is pencil till which class? Grade 3? Third standard. Okay, there it is till 4th, we make them do with pencil. You know, 5th grade, it is a disaster, I tell you, when they start with pen. Oh, everywhere there will be ink. Now, God's grace, now we don't have ink pens. Otherwise, all the uniform will be with the ink, face, mouth, everywhere. You remember how we used to be like, right? So, what we have decided there is, see, always when they are bringing a pencil, tell them HB pencil. Because HB pencil is used for written work. Other pencils are for sketches, etc. That is why it becomes light. After some time, whatever they write in the notebook, it becomes lighter and lighter. So it is always better they write with HB pencils. They write it there till class 4. But here I would say that till class 3 you can make them write in pencil. And when they are starting with pen, better ask them to bring a ballpoint pen. That's more than enough. Don't even ask them to bring gel point pen. Because gel, they break the nib. Okay, and every now and then they will break the nib and they will ask the parents to buy it. So it's better a normal ballpoint pen, and make it a point that when they start writing with one particular ink, they're supposed to write with the same color ink. Blues are of different shades, you know that. Even if we say blue, they will bring, I don't know from where they get all these blue colors, right? They will bring different shades of blue and they write. In one page it will be a lighter one page it will be a darker one, it looks very clumsy. So it's always better you insist them to use the same kind of pen. Now, when we were small, we used to have Reynolds pen, isn't it? It's still there available. It's the most beautiful pen, or a Luxa pen, or Luxie pen. You can ask them to use that. It gives a beautiful handwriting also, and it doesn't make the books shabby. So you can prefer to have the blue ink. Always start the new lesson on a fresh page. Some children are having the habit, only one sentence I have written in this page, let us start the new lesson, the same page. Never ever allow that. Always a freshness should be there when you start a work. Clear? Now, students should not be allowed to scribble. Yes, this is something generation after generation it is passed on. Right? The books are very creative. You can see at the back side of the book, right? It is very creative. Even our times, we were very creative. We used to scribble, whether the pen is working or not, we used to scribble at the back, right? We used to make cartoons there. We used to get the address of our friends there. It's the same thing with this generation also. It's nothing different. Only thing is that their level has developed into getting the phone numbers of cell phones, right? That is the only difference what we can see. And their cartoons have changed into some alliance, I don't know, aliens they make. Okay, this is the only difference what I can find in them and us. Okay, so make it a point that they will never write at the back. It shows that the child is not at all disciplined, and at the same time the teacher is not firm. If teacher is strict and firm, this will never happen in the notebook. Other than this attitude, I can feel, it is transferred to the next generation. If a teacher says, take out your notebook, and you get to know that the notebook is not brought to the school, you immediately take the similar kind of notebook and start writing from the beginning, So in the same notebook, you can see Hindi, maths, all these things. If the teacher is not strict. So always remember, when you are giving any written work, always walk. You need to walk. Never ever sit in the class. I am totally against the teachers if they say that I can't sit or I want to sit. See, first of all, when you sit, you won't be able to see what they are doing in the back. Just now, how they are sitting. Right? Standing here, I can make out they're just looking here and there, but exactly what is happening inside, I can't say. It's the same thing with the children also. So always remember, when you are standing in a class, either you should stand diagonally so that you can see everybody sitting in the class. right? To diagonals you use, or you have to stand in the center so that you can get a view of each and every person sitting in the room. And meanwhile, whenever you give a written work, it is a duty of the teacher to check whether they are writing in the same notebook or not. Okay? So if you are strict, your notebook will be fantastic. Now, next one. If an error is made while writing with a pen, please instruct them to strike just once. They make a goal, right? Or else, nowadays the new trend is correction fluid. All whitewashes you can see everywhere. Understood? So, no other teachers don't say, yes, you are also using the same thing in the attendance registers. Okay, that is also not allowed. Because it is something where the manipulations should never happen, right? If something goes wrong, at that time, maybe by chance you might have done it earlier, they will consider that you have manipulated. So that is why we say that even in the official documents, you are not supposed to put your correction fluid. That white out and white paint is available everywhere in various textures, right? Earlier it was like a nail paint, now it is available in various textures. Please don't buy it, not should use. And please avoid this in the notebook. Please tell the children not to use it. Yeah. So please instruct them to strike it out rather than use correction fluid. The use of correction fluid is prohibited. Now, see teachers, I will tell you very clearly few things. I just want to tell you what. See, till last year I used to teach 10th and 12th. So I know the kids very well and their approach. Okay. Whenever we give a map work, basically social studies teachers, they give map work to do. You give an outline map to everybody and you ask them to do it, right? If you are not asking them to stick in the notebook, they will throw it in the dustbin, right? Later parents will say that such practices were never given in the notebook. We have never seen that they have done it. So I would say that anything you are going to give, like for example diagrams, labeling work, or anything you make them do, it should be attached to the notebook. There should be an evidence for whatever you do. So that is why we always say that all the diagrams, map work and the figures in maths should be completed using pencils only. Only color pencils should be permitted in the notebook, not crayons from grade 1 onwards. Crayons in KG they have to use because they do the scribbling work, okay? That is within the customized region or the uncontrolled and controlled shading they do it with crayons for a grip. But right from class 1 they should use this only. In science and EVS, the diagram should be drawn in the center of the page, not in the right hand side or in the left hand side, it should be in the center. And meanwhile, the diagram should always be accompanied by a description written below, and the labeling should be done using a pencil. So if you are making an animal cell or a plant cell, what you need to do is only the pencil should be used for drawing, and even the labeling should be, if it is a cell wall, whatever you are making them do, they have to do the labeling in one side, not like this, okay? Only in one side. Make it a practice right from the childhood that they have to do it in one direction, so that when they come to the higher classes, you don't have to tell them, okay? Always labeling should be in one side, whichever side they want, but it should be in one side. Next one. For maths, leave 1 or 2 lines at the top of the page, then write the headings in the center. Now, maths notebook, I'll tell you the same thing. You have the 2 column notebooks, right? You have the rough notebook as well as rough column and a margin, etc. like this. You have like this, right? The maths. Now, here what happens is that the notebook starts like this, with lines like this, okay? There is no margin given. What they do, the end of this only they will start writing. Okay, so the teachers, they won't even check. See, maths teachers have one biggest problem, They consider that only they have to correct the numeral. Whatever is written in numeral, they have to correct. Anything in words written in English, that is not my subject. And the spelling right from the beginning, decimal, okay, they write, spelling will be wrong. But they will not correct because it is in English, right? They have to just see whether the point is there or not. Remember one thing, teachers, you are teaching a subject where English is used. Even you have to be good at your spellings also. Remember that. You have to correct right from top to bottom. It's not only the numerals. So other than this portion, you don't start it because leave 2 lines and then start from the center. This is what you are supposed to do. Clear? So leave 2-3 lines in the, even though there is no margin, but still then do it. Consider it as a margin and start after 2 lines. All rough work should be done on the right hand side next to the right margin. Use a ruler and pencil to draw a line after completing each problem. This is meant for physics also. After every numerical question and the answers, you have to ask them to draw a line so that it becomes easier for you to correct and they also know where it starts, where the step starts and where it ends. Now, all the mathematical diagrams, graphs, construction should be created using pencil and the ruler or whatever geometrical instruments, whatever they bring, that should be kept carefully and used properly. For language studies, now here I'll tell you one thing, right from class 6. So you all are having NCERT textbooks right from class 3? 6 onwards, okay. Now there is a few changes, like we have taking pre-KG to class 2, we are going to have private editions. Class 3 onwards, we have taken NCERT. So why NCERT? Because suffered. Okay, otherwise it may become a problem, that is why. Okay, now, so listen very carefully. Class 6 onwards, in every subject, we are having languages I'm talking about. Whether it is Hindi, whether it is English, for you it is Tamil, for Malayalam, you have different sections. Prose, poetry, other than that writing sections are there. After writing sections, you have applied grammar. What is applied grammar? I'll explain you that. Applied grammar and then grammar. Now, when you ask them, see, one day you come and finish your poetry and ask them to write the poetic devices and finish it off. Next day, you are giving a writing skill. That is, write a diary writing you do. Then next day, you come and do some language, this thing. So eventually what happened, they write in the notebook one after the other. Some of them remain absent, they don't even complete that, you will never get to know who has done what. Okay, so that is the reason, because I do the book inspections. So for my convenience also, I have to check with the year plan, what they have done. So what I have suggested, you take a notebook for first semester. This first semester notebook should have 4 divisions. That is, prose, poetry, writing skill, grammar. So that according to the year plan, what all chapters you have done, what all exercises you have done, everything is given clearly in the notebook also. For that, checking also becomes easier. So that is why I tell you that it is always better that all the, for languages, divide the pages in the notebook into sections of prose, poetry and grammar. Okay, what is applied grammar? It is meant for 9, 10, 11, 12. Even in 8th also. Applied grammar is edit, you do edit, right? Rectification, edit, formation of sentences, making the negative sentence, affirmative sentences, all this comes under applied grammar. Grammar is a normal grammar, whatever you teach. Writing skill, all the written skills like letter writing, formal, informal, diary writing, composition, everything comes under that. So this way it is being bifurcated. Hope it's clear? So it is all up to you. You talk to your principal, vice principal and do accordingly. Yeah. Now next one. Highlight the headings in the notebook. Always it is compulsory that even the parents should know what we are doing. They should know that we are giving importance to each and every category of written work. For example, we give new words in all the languages. These new words, when, see, usually how is our notebook, I'll tell you that also, so that you will get a glance of it. When I usually tell the teachers this way, start a topic, you should start with prerequisite. Prerequisite means we should know how much a child knows about that particular topic before we start with a new topic. Suppose you are teaching about solar system. In class 3, they might have studied the base of it. Okay, by the time they come to class 6, it is almost the same, but the version is more, right? So before we start with the topic in class 6, we need to know how far they remember, how far they can recall, how they can recognize. So this is a basic thing what you need to do, that is prerequisite. After this, I tell them teach the concepts properly. After teaching the concepts, in order to make the concepts very clear, do the activities. Okay? After the activities only, you should take out the notebooks, make them write the things whatever is required. After the notebook, textbook should be done by themselves because it is short answers, true and false, fill in the blanks, etc., which they can do, but it should be corrected by a peer, because you cannot do the corrections of textbook, isn't it? But those who are sitting beside each other, they can check. You can tell the answer, they will check the spellings. And they love to correct each other's, They love to become a teacher. They will, but make them understand that you have to correct with the pencil only. Clear? So this becomes a revision for them. At the same time, correction is also done. Only the notebook you have to correct. Clear? And after this, a class test. This is how the things have to be done. How is our notebook? First is art integration. If any art integration is there given in the year plan, our year plan has got all these things, art integration, activity to be done, what has to be done in the textbook, what has to be done in the notebook, it is given there in that way. So first, art integration. Then, if it is English, new words will come up. They have to write new words. Then, whatever questions are there, that they have to do. Then, whatever they have to do in the textbook, they have to do. This way, the bifurcation is done. So, if there is map work or any other graph work in maths, they have to stick it in the notebook. Hope it's clear. Now, so that is why we say that in the notebook, new words should be mentioned. Textbook questions should be done in the textbook. If you are doing the high order thinking questions, if it is very important, make them do in the notebook. If it is so and you say that this can be done as discussion, do it in the textbook. Now, other than that, questions, activities, art integrated, homework, board questions, mind mapping, research work, etc. should be done in the notebook. Now, this year onwards, it is my suggestion to all the schools. Write 10th and 12th, whichever portion you are teaching. From that particular portion, at least 5 to 8 board questions should be written in the notebook. If you say that I will do it later, it will never happen. So when you are teaching a particular chapter, there itself you should give the questions. So they will get to know that this is an important chapter where we have to go through. So those important questions should be from the board papers. Okay, in 10th also you must do, and in 12th also you must do. Give in the notebook. Textual exercises, they will do it by themselves. But board question for every chapter, at least 5 questions from every chapter you should make them do in the notebook with the year. Like this set, this year we have taken this particular question. Clear? Now, for pre-primary and primary language assessment, reading grouping, see, I have made it very compulsory in our school because, children are very good. They score marks. But when you ask them to read, some find it really difficult to read. Right? But now, with reading also there is another big problem. If you ask them to read the textbook, they will read because they have learned it by heart. At home, if you keep a reading test, what mothers will do, the same thing they will teach them. And this is not going to improve their language. So what you need to do, all the language teachers, you have to give the reading test every 15 days. I made it compulsory right from UKG to class 5. Reading test in your subjects every 15 days, and this mark should be included in your notebook. That is in the mark book. Why, And how you are going to do the reading test? Take the library book. Of age appropriate library book you should take and ask them to read that. Then there you will come to know how far they are able to read. Because if you ask them to read the textbook, they will learn by it. So this is the reason why I have told them to make their own rubrics and conduct the reading test every 15 days. This is compulsory. Now, with regard to upper KG to class 5, every 2 weeks or every fortnight, that is what I meant. Cursive writing. See, teachers who are taking pre-KG and LKG and UKG, listen very carefully what I would like to tell you. According to Bal Vatika, as per the CBSE, now it is going to be the part and parcel of our school system. Okay, that is the reason we are having it as 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 now. So these are integrated part in the school. Pre-KG. In pre-KG, there we give lot of importance to the development of various parts of the body. That is the reason we are giving importance to the fine motor skill and gross motor skill. What is fine motor skill? Anything which you do with the hands. Because unless until you don't make the hands stiff, like so that or flexible, they will never be able to write it properly. So we are giving all the activity-oriented teaching in pre-KG. Pre-KG doesn't have a book. We have trained our own syllabus, and with that syllabus, the teachers will teach a little bit of, to satisfy the parents, we are doing little bit of strokes, etc. Okay, but lot of clay and other sand activities, etc. we do. But LKG onwards, we start with the strokes, right? And we do all the print letters, A to Z, Mama A, Mama Z. We do as print letters. Even the small letters also we do as a print. So that when they reach UKG, they understand and recognize each and every letter. Okay? In the first week, in the month of June, we do a revision of print letters A to Z, small as well as capital. Then I have told them to do the cursive. Cursive, we are not going to start with A, B, C, D likewise. Listen very carefully. How are we going to do? So put the light. All those who are taking UKG, please listen how you are supposed to teach. Right? These are 4 lines. Always remember, when you teach the smaller classes, these lines should be drawn on the board, whether it is square or whether it is 2 line or whether it is 4 line. Always remember, teach the letters which goes from the center first. Okay, we are taking the base and the secondary line, blue line. All the letters which starts from this on remains here should be taught. First letter which should be taught, which is very easy to write, is I. You have to teach I. Okay? Then you need to teach C. Okay? It becomes easier for them to understand C. After this, you have to teach them E. Right? After C, they know the curve here, they will learn A. This way, all the letters which touches only these lines should be taught. Got it? So now what happens? They know the print letter, they know the sequence, but here you are teaching in cursive how you have to make them know that where they should touch. Now, usually what happens, those who have not learned cursive writing properly, they can't differentiate B and F. B looks like F, F looks like B. Because even T, even L, okay, everything is a problem. Even J and G becomes a problem. That is the reason we have to teach in this way. Then after you finish this, take another 4 line, teach the top and the center. Letters which start from the center and goes up. That is the top. Suppose the first letter, which is very easy to teach, is L. Right? Everything which goes up and comes to the center, that you need to teach. Just like H. This way. So this way if you teach, it becomes easier. Then next category you have to teach is the middle and the bottom. That is, for example, J, G, etc. you have to teach. So it goes from the middle and goes to the bottom. This is how you have to teach these letters. After that, there are only 2 letters which touches all the 4 lines. You have to make them understand. Only 2 letters which touches all the 4 lines you have to teach. That is F. It goes up, comes down, touches the bottom line, goes up. Touching all the 4 lines. Similarly, another P. It goes up, comes down, goes out. So here what happens, each letter where it should touch, children will learn. And one thing I tell you, cursive writing, formation of letters and numerals, they will learn, and perfectly they will learn till class 2. You can make changes, you can bring lot of changes in them, even in their handwriting, if you teach them well till class 2. After that, you don't have time to focus on all these things. That is why I tell you, whatever you want to teach at this level, please teach them in the foundation level everything. Clear? Teachers should place greater emphasis on the formation of letters and numbers from pre-primary to primary level. Handwriting should be periodized, and at the same time, internal marks should be awarded accordingly. Next is, additionally, notebook correction should be done meticulously. I'll tell you, notebook correction should not be a big tick without looking at anything. You know what is the significance? I can very well understand the teacher has corrected very well by seeing their correction. How? If a teacher is very casual, okay, they will give a big tick. Very casual. They think that I have seen everything, they put a big tick. A teacher who corrects very systematically and meticulously, after each sentence they will put a tick, a small tick. And not only that, a meticulous teacher will sign and put the date. A teacher who is fluke will never put a date. Always remember that. They will correct at the end, and they will never put a date. That shows that they are meticulously not doing it on time. So, till class 6, all the corrections should be word to word. You have to give importance to the spelling, formation, etc. And remember one thing, when you are teaching them writing, always tell them, keep a finger after a word. That should be the spacing. These all were taught to us when we were small. So now the teachers have to teach the next generation. One word, a finger, a small finger of theirs. Then another word, then another word. This will be the space what they have to give. And slowly they will develop on that. This you have to teach them. Clear? So, other than this, the teacher should initial their corrections and include the date for reference. Next. Monitoring and follow-up of incomplete work. This is very common. See, how could I do all these things, Because in my life, I have seen the teachers doing it. Many teachers, they write incomplete work. And that particular remark remains there till the year ending. Now the teachers are checking whether they have written it or not. Now the children are bothered to write it. Oh, it is a remark given now, who is going to check? Always remember, when you write incomplete work, it is your duty to check whether the children have completed or not. So that is the next thing. Monitoring and follow-up of incomplete work should be conducted by the respective coordinator or in charge or vice principal on regular basis. And the notebook assessment should be done term-wise, and internal marks you're giving anyhow. Reflections. Now, I would like to tell you certain things. Hope you all are doing this way. As per the CBSE, we have multidisciplinary projects, which you have to do in every subject, right from class 3 to class 8. Marks is given there. In the same way, Notebook submission has got marks, periodic has got marks. So with calculation of all this thing, 50 marks we have kept as internal and 50 for written exam. This is how we do it for class 3 to 5. But in the 6 to 8, there are certain differences. Periodics we have kept marks, notebook submission we have kept marks, MDP, that is multidisciplinary project. Every class has got a theme, and according to that theme, every subject teacher has to do the budget on that theme. It should be compiled and it should be done as a spiral binding. It has 5 marks, 20 marks kept for doing that. This starts in class 3 and ends with class 8. It is added up with the internal marks. Clear? And always remember, this according to the internal marks, we have orals also. Okay, we are giving even comprehension passages worksheets, 2 worksheets for 2 terms, so that even the writing skill has to be given certain marks. Okay, it is added with the orals. So always remember, these are the things you have to give it as internal marks, right? Next, reflection. You know, the CBSE has made it mandatory for all the classes, right from class 6 to 8, to write reflection. What is reflection actually? After you complete a particular chapter, right, the children have to write what they felt about the chapter. What was something which they really loved? Okay, what actually literally they did not like it. It was very boring for them or very difficult for them. They have to write a small paragraph in their own words. Here the teachers are not supposed to support. They have to write it by themselves. It is known as learner's diary reflection. After each chapter, in every subject, the child has to write in their notebook a learner's diary reflection, okay, in every subject, and it carries marks. You don't have to give marks in the notebook. You have to correct their language, and marks can be put up in the report card. That comes under internals. It is done for 6, 7, 8 because they, at that particular age, they can understand things and write by their own. Okay, and I have made it for 3 to 5 because they should learn how to write in our schools also. But this is mandatory as per the CBSE. Next one. Every minute, see what is notebook reflection of personality. See, seeing a notebook or a handwriting, you can understand the student's personality. Don't you? Right? So this is what? Every minute detail on the notebook, that is properly covered notebook with primary information, properly maintained index, title of different lessons, complete classwork, homework, neat and clean handwriting, less spelling mistakes, and quality content. We get to know what kind of child he or she is. Clear? Next one. Students' notebook is one of the best means to observe the effect of our teaching. It reflects our teaching also, not only their studies or not only their personality. To write key points, spellings, key terms, question answer in the notebook is to ensure an effective way of understanding the concept. The way you make them write, there we get to know how far the teacher is giving importance to the concept. Okay? It's not only child's work, whereas teacher's work. It is an evidence of learning because students revise this learning time to time for fulfilling different academic purposes. Can I have a quote? You are like children. When the teacher stops, you will start talking, isn't it? And you ask them to be very disciplined, right? Now you understood? It is torturous to make the children sit for more than 1 hour for a class. And this is what it happens when you take physics and maths in the last period without sending for PE. Understood? Torture. Now, next. Big challenge for a teacher. What's a big challenge for a teacher? You tell me. Generally, teacher faces a big challenge from academically weaker students. Got it? Now, since these students show least interest in study, they do not complete their notebook on time. Good teacher adopts different techniques for ensuring that students not only complete the notebook on time, but also submit it for check. I'll tell you one thing. You have to use your psychology there. Why teachers are taught, we give a paper in psychology, isn't it, for BA? Why do we do that? We need to learn child psychology. I'll tell you a simple thing. LKG, UKG, first standard, second standard, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, their wavelength is same. Their brain works in the same way. I'll tell you very frankly. Even 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and LKG, UKG, first standard, second standard, their wavelength is same. Why I'll tell you? Other one is very small. They are scared if we talk a bit in a different voice. They are scared. The other group, 9, 10, 11, 12, they are grown up. They never get love from anyone. Okay. Only thing what they listen from their parents or elders, study. Right? For these two categories, you pat them and say, Mama, please do it. Okay, I'm going to give you a reward for this. Just tell them with a very polite manner, they will listen to you. Even 9, 10, 11, 12 are like that. The villains are from class 3. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You do whatever, you do Tandav in front of them, okay? You do a nice comic role also in front of them. You say, I'll buy sweets also for them. They will not listen. They will do whatever they feel. Okay? If they are happy, they are okay. If they are not happy, they will never do. Even they get 2 beatings also, they are alright with that. But there you have to play, you have to blackmail them. Blackmailing works in 3 to 8. Don't do, I have no problem. PE is not there for 2 months for you. Now you decide what you want. If you stop their PE, if you stop their picnic, parents are not going to come and ask us why. For other things, parents will come and ask. They are also happy, don't go. In the summer, what you will do? Okay, but they will kill each other if they are not doing the homework because PE is like killing them. So only blackmail is possible with something which they like to do and you stop that. But without hampering others, what you can say, the parents should not come running saying that my kids are not giving this or that. Here in such cases, parents will also not come and ask. Why you are not taking for picnic? They will say, very good, don't pick them. At least my money is safe. Okay, so this is the option what you have to follow. So actually the biggest challenge with such children, those who are not studying, they don't have interest. There are 2 categories, okay. One, because they are very slow in writing, they are not able to complete anything, so they don't like to study. Another group is, they are very playful, they don't want to complete anything. So you have to adopt the strategies in such a way, learn their psychology, learn what they like, and then put a bar on it. This is how you can make them do the work. Okay, next one. Classroom strategies for checking notebooks. I'll tell you very clearly. Teachers, the notebooks you have to check, but in textbook, whatever work you are making them do. Peer correction is the best method. It is not possible for you to check the textbook. What you can do is write answers on the board, right? Ask the peer to check it. So they will, like teachers, they will check. Okay? They will not even leave that comma. Why you will not put comma, they say. Okay? So always this is a better thing to do. Give the peer to do the work. And you have to say that beautifully corrected one will be getting a prize. So they will not put the big tick also. They will put it very neatly, the correction will be done. So you have to make your work done in such a way by giving them proper instructions. Okay? So this is what we say self-correction or peer correction. Self-correction they will not do properly in the smaller classes. Peer correction gives students a chance and time to correct themselves. Students can also correct notebooks of one another. Peer correction often helps create a positive class atmosphere as students realize teacher is the only source of error correction and they can learn a lot from each other. Here, next. Concerned teachers must do correction. Here what happens? This is a normal thing what happens in a school. A teacher started the class in the month of June. All of a sudden in August she went off. She took a leave or she left the school without correcting the work from June to August. The new teacher comes in. She has to teach her portions. What she will do, whatever portion she has done, she will correct that. Leave the previous one. Who is going to correct? Somebody else will come and correct it. It is the responsibility of the teacher who has taken up that particular class to correct the previous work. Hope it's clear. So principals have already told the teachers to do it, okay? So there is no botheration. So teacher ensures timely correction of notebooks. Smart teachers correct students' notebook by developing their own checklist. See, if you are having different classes, I always tell the coordinators when they check the notebooks of different classes, make a checklist. Monday, one class you have done, Tuesday another class you have to do, class 3 you have to do. The same way, even if you are having different classes, make a checklist. Today you have corrected one class 10 notebooks, put a tick mark. Then another class, put a tick mark, so that none of them will keep hiding the notebooks. You will check everybody's. Clear? Next one. Teachers taking over, this I have told you, taking over, the left teachers will check pending work. Ensure questions, answers must be relevant to the questions, don't leave scope for ambiguous or meaningless answer. See, for NCERT this is not a problem. If you go to NCERT textbook page number wise, all the answers are available in the net. Please, in our schools, the teachers copy, they make a notebook, they make. So they write down the answers and keep it ready so that if any, by chance if she is taking a leave for a week or something, and the teacher can go and take the class. Major corrections or errors, ask them to redo the work after teacher checks. Lot of spelling errors, you can make them do. Okay, next. This is not meant for class till class 5. It is meant for class 6, 7 and 8. See, it is obvious that the same kind of mistakes you go through in the same notebook, right? Spelling mistake of beautiful, right? They write beautiful in one sentence, they have written beautiful wrongly. What you have to do? Circle it, write the spelling beautiful. Again and again the same mistake is coming up, or you have corrected it many times before. Just write SP. This is more than enough. Circle it and write SP, that is more than enough. Second is tense of verb, just write T. Similarly, missing word, just give an arrow, that is there is a missing word here. Other than that, teachers as well as the children, they will never write the punctuation marks. Because you see the question papers also punctuation marks will not be there. So always remember, P should be written for punctuation. A new sentence is unnecessarily connecting your ideas, that should be written as you. And word formation, if something error is there in the word formation, write WF. Clear? Next. Writing details, comments, remarks do not help until we do proper follow-up or reminder. If you write incomplete work, what is the use? Unless and until you don't follow up, right? So when you do a regular follow-up, students think that my teacher still remembers my mistake. Always remember that. Whatever you are, follow-up is the first and the major thing which helps you to achieve things. If you don't do follow-up, nothing will work out. Help long absentees in completing pending work. Date submission after deadline is to be checked with a written reminder. They are taking their leaves, okay, at their sweet time. It is our duty to check whether they have completed the work, or else you have to give the reminder to the parents every now and then through the diary. Next. Homework policy, no homework policy till class 2, right? Mathematics is the only subject which have to have the liberty of giving homework in all the days of the week. And if you can give some other one subject or two, you can give. Activities and assignments that students can complete independently should be given, carefully constructed so that to finish within the reasonable time. Never give any work where they need the help of their parents. That is what I meant. Clear? And connect the grade levels and curriculum, engage purposeful and relevant reinforcement takes associated with content. Clear? Next. In CBSE schools, note taking. I will tell you very clearly, note taking is very important in the senior classes when the teachers are teaching. I've seen the children taking notes immediately. They put the PPT and they're teaching, right? Especially this you can do in 9, 10, 11, 12, where the teachers, when they're teaching something, they should sit with a rough notebook or whatever notebook they're using. Let them write, scribble the notebook, scribble the notes there and there. This is going to help them. And at the same time, for the smaller classes, it is not possible. They have their own activities and all. But the note making and the note writing is compulsory to be done in class 9, 10, 11, 12, especially for science and social. Got it? Next. Students are often encouraged to use note taking. Why? Note taking during lectures, while reading textbook and other materials. Teachers may use these methods to help the students understand the material and prepare for the exams. It will definitely help them to remember. See, when they write certain points, what did the teacher say during the class hours, they will recollect seeing that sentence. That is the reason the higher classes we give importance to that. Students can also use these methods to organize. Next. Okay? Hope things are very clear with regard to whatever is told. So my objective was to make you understand how the correction should be done, how the notebook should be maintained, how you can make the corrections much more easier. Okay, if you have any questions, you can ask.
Ma'am, you have mentioned no homework for KG, no?
No homework to teach.
Until 2.
Just second standard. It's not
Then can you help me what type of homework can be given for kindergarten students?
See, as per the CBSE, KG should never be given any kind of homework. Okay? KG, we are not supposed to give any homework. Whatever has to be done, it should be done in the school. We are not supposed to give. See, if you give homework, that is a problem. If they want to make them write as a practice, let them make them do it at home. But from school, no homework should be given for KG. This is what is being instructed to us, according to our Sudheer. And I don't know about the Tamil Nadu, how things are happening, because the places change, accordingly you have to think about it. See, according to the homework policies, we don't give it in the kindergarten till class 2. From 3 onwards, we start with maths and a simple homeworks. What they can do it by themselves, they do it. Okay.
Ma'am, you spoke about reading rubrics for the Vidya. So you were talking about the language skills, reading ability of children. So you mentioned the reading rubrics. Can you elaborate?
We have to develop in primary all the 4. Okay, that is known as the language development, which is recently introduced by NDP. It was already there, but now we are giving prime importance to the primary level and pre-KG level. Like for example, it is known as LWSR, that is reading, writing, speaking, and all these things. Okay, but according to reading, I always say that in class 5 you don't have to go through fluency and all that, but they should be able to read join the words and read properly. That is the only rubric that what you can keep in mind. Okay, there you cannot go for accent or pronunciation, you can't go for it. But as they are grown-ups, by 8th and 9th when they go for inter-school debate and all, there we give importance to all these things. Okay, for the smaller classes when they read, they should be able to read the words, put it together and read as a sentence. Okay?
Ma'am, you mentioned there's no homework. I'm just adding to the other question you was asked. So how can we ask the parents, say if we don't have that policy of giving homework, even when we... Yes.
Continue, please.
It should be projected as advice or suggestion to a parent. Ma'am, please ask your child to practice. When there is no compulsion of writing at home, then...
See, I always say, writing is not only the homework what you can give. Writing is not only the homework what we can give. For primary, we can give reading as a homework, but only thing is that it should be guided by the parents. How many parents do that? Okay, now I will tell you the mixture of mentality. Some of the parents, they want heavy homework. They think that only when you give homework, they sit and write something. Some people, they say that you're giving so much of homework that they're not able to study anything. They never think that homework is part of studies. So eventually, I'll tell you wherever I have worked, even in abroad or everywhere, but this is the usual thing what we do. We don't give homework in class 2. Even here also, in Kochi, in Kerala also, what we do is LKG, UKG, first standard, second standard, we avoid giving homework. Okay? Whatever they have not completed, etc., if they want, they can just message they can personally talk to the parent and make them do. But as a homework, we don't give till class 2. Now, you have to explain very clearly. As I told you, some parents want that the whole page should be written in the school. 10 times the same spelling should be written. You can tell them that if you want them to write it again, you can keep a notebook at home. Please make them practice there for the next dictation or whatever it is. But in our year plan, it is clearly mentioned what will be the class test next, with the marks also. So they can practice that, that's all. But as you say, we don't give a homework till class 2. Class 3 onwards, definitely we have to give because maths is there, we have to give. There is no other options left. Yes, any other questions you have? Any other question? Yes, ma'am. I can't hear you. The mic is not working.
How will you support the persons who are graphically weak? They will write it very slow comparing to other children. Then how we can support them?
See, ma'am, now we have a solid thing to do. We have suffered, isn't it? The structured assessment what the CBSE is doing in class 3, 5 and 8. What I have done this year, I have collected everything from every school. I am checking where they are lagging in which subject. Right? Now, usually what happens, this problem arises in first standard mainly. Why? There are still parents who doesn't consider LKG, UKG not to be so important. They will send them to Balavadi or somewhere. Right? Only if they think that they let them play, they let them enjoy their life and all that. Right? What happens is that in our school we have structured learning in LKG, UKG. By the time they reach first standard, they are able to write a sentence. We finish 2-letter word, 3-letter word, 4-letter words, and then we start sentences. And eventually what happens, these children, when they come, they lag behind. They find it difficult. So what we have opted, this year onwards, we have introduced bridge course as per CBSE. Previously what we used to do, we used to keep remedial classes for such children. We used to tell the parents that we have to keep remedial classes and they have to look after these children at home also because they will not be at par. In certain cases, I still remember in Vadagara, etc., where the children are not even able to write single thing and they are in second standard. I used to tell them for 3 months, let them sit in first standard, let them learn little bit of sentences, etc., little bit of extra work we have to do from our side. Then they are put up in again in second standard. So parents will be knowing it, whereas the children are in second standard, but they will be learning and writing the exam of first standard. This was the only option left for us at that time. But now we are going to have bridge course. CBSE says 1 month, we are going to do for 15 days. In which all classes we are doing? We are going to do it in first standard, third standard, fifth standard, sixth and eighth. And this manual is available. You can pick important questions and make them do. This is the only option. As
Shaya. I'm just adding a point regarding the homework. In several platforms, we have told that we should not give homework in KG and classes 1 and 2. We are waiting for a convinced, bold KG coordinator and principal who can implement this. Suggestion has come from the board. We also have given our agreement to that. So let us see.
yes. See, whatever is right, whatever is wrong. When we are doing something right, you have to boldly, you have to speak to the parents, convince them that this cannot be given from our side. But if you want, keep a notebook with you. Please make them write whatever we are doing. So they will be happy for that. That's all. Okay?
Shreya, ma'am, I am an English teacher who is handling 10th standard.
Yeah.
Ma'am, when I teach and when I give the explanation to them, if they write, if they take note taking, and they will be lacking an explanation when they will be listening.
See, I never told about English. I told about science and social.
So no need of taking note taking.
See, social English is something which they have to listen, right? And specifically, I would say, as I used to take English for 10th standard, I'm telling you, we have to give importance to poetic devices.
Yes.
The poetic devices, you have to write it on the board. You have to make them understand. Though they learn right from class 6, few things. But in 9, 10, 11, 12, you have to precisely teach them very well with the sentences. So, I would say that do not go for written notes in your subject. Only when you are teaching them the meanings, you're teaching them something very important within the lines, right? Read the context and answer the following. Just ask them to write it in the textbook, but no note writing in your period. They have to listen to you.
Thank you.
Yes, any more?
Yes, ma'am. As you said, we don't give homework to kindergarten.
You don't give homework? Yeah.
To kindergarten, right?
Yes,
But
yes.
my intention is not to give homework. But
You can put the mic properly, please, and speak. It is working, but you have to keep it near your mouth. Yeah.
now am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, I'm fine. I can hear
My
you.
intention is not to give homework. But, for example, strokes, sleeping line, standing line. So we can, that can be given as homework to get them practice, right?
I'll tell you one thing. If you want to make them do this standing line, sleeping line, etc., our ancient method is the best method to teach them. Okay? Take sand. We have sand in our class. We make them doing that. And you know, ask them to buy a small slate. Let them do the standing and straight line. You don't have to give homework for that. Okay? And children, they are very small. They need little bit of playing and all that. You don't give homework to them. Whatever you want to do it in the school itself. You want to give additional practice, ask them to get slate. They love to write on the boards, you know. In Kochi school, we have prepared boards here at the bottom. Whenever they are free, their small chairs, they will come near this, they put the small chairs, they sit and draw. So this way also you can do, you can stick a paper, ask them to bring their pencil and do that. Right? Or they can bring their slide, slate and do it. Don't give homework, please. Hope it is clear. Is there any other doubt you are having pertaining to any other subject?
Ma'am, this is a doubt for all subjects, ma'am.
Yes.
Regarding classwork, ma'am, classwork copying. Classwork, ma'am, classwork copying. You are copying the child is asked to copy the classwork. How many pages a child can copy in the classwork note in a period? How many pages minimum?
See, one thing I'll tell you very clearly. That is, you're talking about writing notes.
Yes, ma'am.
Writing notes, how much the teacher has taught. Only the important points like journalists, they are scribbling it down. It's not with regard to the
notes, ma'am. Classwork, ma'am.
Classwork, what
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
talking about.
Yes, ma'am.
See, every day you're teaching, you're not giving a period for them to write, do you? If you're giving a period, there is nothing like page numbers. See, I'll tell you, according to our year plan, we have strictly said that this particular chapter, these many questions they have to do in the notebook, these many questions, extra questions they have to do in the notebook, these many questions they have to do in the textbook. Higher classes, whether do it in the classwork or homework, it is up to them. We need the work. There is no specific number of pages are mentioned. And with regard to scribbling down the notebooks in notes in science and social is concerned, it's up to the teacher how she is teaching, they will take down the notes. And that is mainly scribbling. There's no pages as such concerned. Okay? So pages is not there. Don't think about pages. Here how many questions you give and what they write. Clear? Yes. Yeah.
It's the concern that we should not give homework because they are small kids. They want to have playtime with family time. Right? That is the concern.
Not only that, how many hours should they study? How many hours they should study? They should study. It is concerned on that also.
So, in that case, all the children, nowadays we see our peer parents, the playtime is not quantitative.
It depends.
Yeah.
See, some people act as if they have sent for medicine in LKG, UKG. Okay, they will check their marks, they will do that, this and all that. There are some parents, they are not bothered only. They think that when they reach class 5, they will learn by themselves. See, one thing I tell you, man, this is what the rote learning is all about. Clear? When you make the children, you overexert them with the same thing again and again. Actually, it is not required. I'll tell you, CBSE, I was working with Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, Kuwait. Till class 5, all the children used to keep their books in the locker, lock it and go home. Whatever they do it in the school is more than enough. But the parents here are not like that. So that is the reason I have told you, if they want homework, they want to teach, they can teach without giving homework also.
Yeah.
Let them sit and make them read.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, do we have any counseling session for parents who join?
See, that is why I always insist the teachers and the principal that before the school starts, you need to keep an orientation.
Yeah. Will that happen?
Yes, it is happening. I prepare a PPT and give it to them and they do that in their class, in their schools. LKG, UKG, first standard, second standard, you have to call the parents and do an orientation and explain them. Just I explain which are the books, what are we doing, what kind of activities we have in the school, where we take for the field trip, how are they going to keep their tiffin box, they have to bring a napkin for the tiffin box, they have to wear the uniform in this way. these are the things we will be doing in the school. There will not be any homework. If you want a homework for your side, you can make them read. So all these things in the orientation you can do. Similar orientation, we do it for 9, 10, 11, 12 parents also. I told you, the mentality is the same. That is all. Yeah? I hope there's no other questions or you're thinking what to ask next. Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Ma'am, you say the first standard teachers are good at reading. First standard students, they are good at reading. They can read a sentence.
I never said they are good at reading. I said they should be able to read something.
Something. You said something means a sentence.
A sentence.
May I know, do you follow phonics or a normal reading?
We follow phonics or not. We follow phonics.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Unless and until we don't do phonics, they will not learn.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, thank you.
From pre-KG, phonics starts.
Yeah.
I think I can wind up here. Okay. Thank you very much. I hope it is going to bring us a different mode of teaching. Okay. And all the best and good wishes to all of you. Thank you. Namaskar.
I extend a heartfelt thanks to you, ma'am, for your insightful and interactive session on notebook corrections and notes taking. Your practical strategies, clear explanations, and valuable tips have given us a fresh perspective on maintaining effective classroom practices. The session was not only informative, but also highly relevant to our daily teaching routines. Thank you for addressing the common challenges faced by teachers and offered simple, actionable solutions that we can readily implement in our classrooms. Your presence and expertise made a meaningful difference, and we are truly thankful for the knowledge you shared with us. Once again, thank you so much.